live in your feed. Hello. So today I want to talk to you about goal setting. And I'm a little late and I apologize for that. But I want to talk about goal setting today. So, hello, kitty cat. My table's a little rocky today, so she jumped on it and it went, ooh. You weren't having a stroke. My table went, ooh. If I even wiggle it a little bit, it's like bounces all over the place. I got some Loctite, so I'm gonna use some Loctite, make things stick a little more. Anyways, so goal setting. Let's talk about making goals and making them stick and making them be comfortable for us. Now, here's the thing about goal setting. You can write a list. You can write 1,000 lists. You can even put them on your day things. Yes, it's my sister's birthday today, and I had to write myself a little note about it. I'm kind of a goof that way. What can I say? Which reminds me, I haven't called her yet, and it's like 8 o'clock in Ontario. Oops. Sorry. She's not here, so she doesn't know. But here's the thing. You can do all of those things, but if there's any resistance to either the goals themselves or to, Facebook changed things a little bit. And so now there's a band across here saying that somebody's actually watching me live. Cool. Hi. So if there's any resistance, we're talking about goal setting. So you can create all the goals that you want. But if you have resistance to either the goals themselves, to the process, or to anything else that is related to goal setting, you're never going to be successful. So how do we fix this? How do we change this up? Because you know I have a hack, right? I always have a hack. How do we change this up so that we can create something that truly fits, that feels good, and that makes us want to jump up and down and get out of bed in the morning, right? Because we really want that, don't we? We don't want to be stuck, depressed and sad and dreading having to look at the fucking list. We don't want to be stressed out about it. We don't. So here's the trick. And it's kind of a cool little trick. Yes, kitty cat, don't climb on the keyboard, please. She's such a pain. She's so cute, but she's such a pain. Okay, so here's the trick. And it's kind of a cool little trick. Write down everything. Everything that is a big goal that you want to achieve in the next 10 years. Oh, doesn't that sound worse? Trust me, just trust me, okay? I've done this with a few people, this exercise, and it works like a charm every single time. So you make your big list, okay? You got this big list of the big goals that you want to achieve. Then I want you to rank them. So you decide which ones are most important to you. And you can use any criteria that you want to rank these. You can rank them based on how much you actually want them. You can rank them based on when you think they need to be done by. You can rank them on how little you want to do them. You can rank them or how little you want to do the things that are going to get you that goal. You can rank them on their impact on your life. You can rank them on the impact that they will have on other people's lives. I don't care what ranking system you use. That's completely immaterial at this point. But I want you to, maybe you put them, I'm going to fish this up, maybe you put them on little stickies, okay? So then you find a little wall or a door or something. And so you're putting your little stickies all over with your little goals. So your goal has to be small enough to fit on a sticky. How's that? Or maybe even you're just using the little stickies, in which case, damn, that's a small 1-2 word goal, isn't it? Whew. Or maybe, just maybe, I like stickies, can you tell? Maybe, just maybe, your Post-it note is a 4x6 because you have big ambitious goals that require a little more writing. I like these ones. They've got ruler lines on them and everything. They're fabulous. So they're my go-tos. So whatever your goal things look like, write them out on sticky notes. Put them out so you can spread them out and really look at them. It's kind of like vision boarding, but we're being a little more specific and a little more intentional, okay? You can use vision board pictures too. If one of the things that you want is a specific house, either write down the house from my vision board or stamp a picture up on your wall, okay? Rank them. Order of importance from 1 to whatever, okay? And then I want you to be honest with yourself about what the next step is that you can or should take for your top 3 to top 5 goals. Completely honest with yourself what that next thing needs to look like. And write that on another sticky and attach it underneath your first one. So you've got your sticky with your thingy, you got your other sticky that's got your first step, stick it on. So then you get your first step hooked, okay? So now you've got some decisions to make. Where do you fit this first step? It can be as big or as little as you want. Where do you fit that in your life? Now, it's still a process and it still requires you to actually do the thing. But writing it down as a big, hairy, audacious goal and seeing it in writing, seeing it up somewhere, transforms it in your head. When you do that, you realize your why. Why do I want this goal? Why am I writing this down? And as you write down that first step that you need to take, your first step, you're thinking, I need to do this so that I can. That's going to give you the impetus, the kick in the ass that you need to actually do it. Yes, I like to use big words. I scare people with my big words. I try very hard not to use big words, but I use big words, so suck it. When you know your why, and you have some of your big goals listed out, your life goals listed out, and you've got first steps attached to the most important of your life goals, then you can start to say, okay, so my first step is, okay, so let me play this out in real time for you, just so you kind of have an idea, okay? So say I want to, let's actually do something real here. One of my big, hairy, audacious goals is to create a Udemy course for how to teach virtual assistants how to be a virtual assistants. That's one of my big, hairy, audacious goals. I am in love with the idea of passive income, and I really, really, really want that, okay? I have a course on Udemy, which is already selling. I sold 2 already, and I've only had it up for like 2-3 weeks, which is crazy unheard of. So that's exciting. And so my audacious goal is to have another course on Udemy, okay? That's my big, hairy, audacious goal. My first step towards that goal, that first step that I need to take, is running weekly training sessions for myself where I run people through this, what I want the course to look like, so that I can get a feel for how it works in real life, and so that I can get a feel for what questions I'm not answering in my notes. Kind of an important deal. I'm already doing that, but that's okay, because that gives you an idea, okay? So my big, hairy, audacious goal, create an online course that walks people, not runs them, but walks them through all the steps that they need to take to create an online business for themselves that will just work like clockwork, that will get them clients, that will get them all of the things that they need. And I'm doing my first step now, which is research, market research. It's big, it's important. So maybe your big, hairy, audacious goal is to buy a house. So maybe your first step is something a little simpler than my first step, which is finding people to pitch to on a weekly basis with, whatever. So maybe your thing is more along the lines of, okay, so I know I want to buy a house. Maybe my first step towards figuring out how to buy a house is to figure out what kind of house I want. What are the things that are actually important to me in a house? So maybe at that point, then I'm looking back at all the places that I've lived in the past and figuring out the pieces that I liked the most about it. I liked it best when I had a 4-bedroom house. I liked it best when I had a basement. I liked it best when the laundry was upstairs. I liked it best when I had my own bathroom. I liked it best when my kitchen maybe didn't have a pantry. Maybe that was the kitchen that I just loved, was it didn't have a pantry. Maybe I liked it best when it had a walk-through pantry where I could get from the garage. I had to walk through the pantry to get to the kitchen. Oh, genius. Drop the bags right there. Never have to go in the kitchen. Woo. Who knows? Who knows what your dream house looks like? Maybe it has an attached garage. Maybe it has a detached garage. Maybe you don't care about a garage because you drive or ride a bike to work. Who knows? This is your first step, is figuring out what you actually want in a house. Then there's other steps after that, but that's your first step. So that's what I encourage you to do this week, okay? Get yourself some sticky notes, some little Post-its, and write yourself out some goals, some life goals, some big, hairy, audacious goals, scary ones, maybe even. Maybe you've always wanted to be a nurse. Maybe you've always wanted to be a consultant. Maybe you've always wanted to, sorry, Vicky, I'm going to say it, live in Mexico and be a beach bum. Maybe you've always wanted that. Whatever your goal is, write it down. And then see which ones really light you up. Those are the ones that you want to do the most. Okay? And when you decide those, then figure out what your first step is going to be for the first couple of them. And then once you've done that first step, then figure out what your next step is. And maybe you keep that on the wall. Maybe you don't. Maybe you take a picture of it with your phone and then you take it all down. Or maybe you turn it into a vision board. Who knows? Who knows what you decide to do with this? Maybe you decide that you want to pretty it up and you're really artistic. I'm not this way, but maybe you decide that you want to create a pretty little mind mappy thing of some kind for it. I don't do well with mind maps. I find them intimidating and terrifying, and I'm not good with them. but some people really like them. They don't work for my brain, but that's okay. However it works for you is how I want you to do it. I like Post-its. They make sense to me. They're comfortable for me, but it's up to you. But don't just use it as a vision board, because a vision board is great once you know what your goals are. But you need to know what your goals are before you can start to vision them, before you can start to work towards them. And never just, here's another important thing, okay? Once you've got your little thingies and maybe you've created a vision board of some kind to go with it, don't expect that some kind of law of attraction magic is just going to magically have it work. And you're not going to have to do anything, and it's just going to like funnel in and shower you with amazingness, because that's bullshit. It's not going to happen that way. Nothing happens that way. Nothing. I hate to break it to you, but nothing happens that way. So what you have to do is those steps. You write down your step. Once you've done your step, then you get another sticky out. Okay, so you get your 2. Then you get another sticky out and you write your next step once you've completed that step. And then you take that sticky and maybe you put it over top of step 1. So then you've got a couple of steps here. I'm telling you, this works. It sounds foolish. You're like, really? Okay. But really it works. I promise. It's going to feel much better and more exciting than a boring old list. Now, the boring old list is good too. Don't get me wrong. I have boring old lists. I have a couple of them. I am the list queen. I like lists. They make me feel comfortable, which is probably why I like this so much, because it's a list and I'm a big fan of lists. But if lists are overwhelming for you and they're uncomfortable for you, don't use a list, just use this. So then you're not writing it down on a to-do list. You're simply looking every day at your wall, wherever your wall is, and you're saying, this is the thing that I need to do to get this list, to get this big, hairy, audacious goal that I want. And so I want my BOAG, let's call it a BOAG, B-O-A-G, my BOAG. I want my big, hairy, audacious goal. And if I want my goal, this is the thing I need to do today for it, or this week. How do I make that happen? How can I challenge myself to create something, some kind of change, some kind of big change, some kind of little change, some kind of incremental change that's going to get me what I want? Because what I really want is my big, hairy, audacious goal. So that is goal setting in a nutshell. At least in the world according to Sherry, that is built. Oh my, that's a heart up on the ceiling. Oh, cool. Okay, sorry, squirrel. I'm gonna have to take a picture of that because it's never been a heart before, and it's a round lampshade, but the heart up on that ceiling. Maybe I'm gonna have love come into my life. Can you have love come into your life if you're always, never around guys? Does that even work? I don't know. Anyways, so that is goal setting in a nutshell. I hope it's been helpful for you. I hope that you've been like, damn straight, this is what I want. And next week, if I remember, and you guys say that you want it, we will talk about how to stay motivated, because motivation is another big one that we tend to struggle with quite a bit. I hope this was good. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed presenting it. I love talking about goal setting, and I feel like we're ready to start talking about some of these important things, goal setting and staying motivated and finding our passions. Have you guys found your passions yet? Ooh, that's another one. Okay. Anyways, so on that note, wherever you are in this big, beautiful, amazing world, have a fabulous day. Enjoy yourself and try to stay cool in the summer. Bye.